Hello, and welcome to this special Files One News presentation, Building a Bridge, the new Tappan Zee. I'm Mike Gilliam. Over the next half hour, we'll explore the history of the span that links Westchester to Rockland and why it needs to be replaced, the behind-the-scenes battles, and the impact on the surrounding communities. According to the state agency overseeing the construction of the new bridge, the first discussions to replace the aging and obsolete bridge began back in 1999. And then, over the next 11 years, $88 million in taxpayer dollars was spent. 430 meetings were held. 150 concepts were considered, but the project did not move forward. Then, in 2011, new design-build legislation was finally enacted, and an environmental review was completed. We'll take an in-depth look at the state-of-the-art design of the bridge and how it compares with the current structure. Plus, we'll show you some of the new design aesthetics of the bridge. And we'll have a timeline of when the $3.9 billion project is expected to be completed and details on how much more traffic the new bridge will be able to handle. Plus, we'll hear from people living in the surrounding communities and how this construction will impact them and their concerns over noise, air, dust, and traffic. And we'll take a trip back in time when the first bridge was built. We begin now with our Carolyn Fortino, who met with the project leaders and has an overview of the massive undertaking.
The Tappan Zee Bridge spans more than 16,000 feet from end to end, connecting Westchester County to Rockland County across the Hudson River. In 1955, the bridge first opened for traffic, handling about 18,000 commuter cars each day. But as travel greatly increased, the Tappan Zee Bridge started to deteriorate, leading to an 11-year discussion about repair and replacement.
Kind of bogged down in red tape and government dysfunction. It was never able to get past the planning stage into something that was doable until Governor Cuomo in 2011 went to the federal government and said, look, we need to replace this bridge.
More than 50 years later, the bridge's crumbling structure bears more travel than its design capacity, as 138,000 cars commute between Tarrytown and South Nyack each day. The federal government declared the Tappan Zee Bridge functionally obsolete, meaning that builders would not be approved to construct the same span today. In October of 2011, a design-build legislation was enacted, naming Tappan Zee constructors to synchronize the design and construction of the new bridge. 7 months later, 3 proposals for a new bridge were submitted, and 2 months later, a plan was selected. In January of 2013, the project was given notice to proceed, and in the fall, dredging and permanent pile installation began.
The existing Tappan Zee Bridge is 87 feet wide. It only has 7 11-foot lanes and that little concrete movable barrier that switches twice a day. The new bridge, which is actually 2 spans, it's a twin-span bridge, will be more than double the width.
Here's an inside look at what the new New York Bridge will look like. The new southern span from Rockland to Westchester County will be 87 feet wide, with 4 general traffic lanes, a shoulder dedicated to breakdowns and emergency vehicles, and an express bus lane. The new northern span will boast 96 feet and maintain almost the same layout, but will have the new shared use path for pedestrians and bicyclists. Included in the design are also 6 belvederes that extend 12 feet beyond the path, providing a viewing area for people to take in views of the Hudson River Valley.
Later this year, the people will start to see some concrete work going into the river. There'll be a concrete foundations, pile caps we call them, that will go on top of those pilings that we've driven. And then you'll see columns and so forth starting later this year.
The new Tappan Zee Bridge is being designed by Tappan Zee Constructors, a group of some of the world's best known and most highly regarded design teams and engineers. The group has hired hundreds of local subcontractors from Westchester, Rockland, and Orange counties for jobs totaling $1.2 billion. But builders say the most important piece of the plan is the design-build aspect, which enables construction to begin while other portions of the design are still being mapped out.
The guys can be out here and they start placing the permanent foundations, while other design packages that may be, lighting on the bridge, roadway, the different landings, there's aspects that don't have to be complete and we can still be out in the water placing foundation. And so as that moves along, we can shorten our schedule.
President Barack Obama made his first trip to Westchester, visiting the Washington Irving Boat Club in Tarrytown. Using the Tappan Zee Bridge as his backdrop, Obama named the new New York Bridge as one of the country's top infrastructure priorities. He called upon Congress to sign the Grow America Act, which would speed up the process and provide additional funding for the new Tappan Zee Bridge.
If they don't act by the end of the summer, federal funding for transportation projects will run out. Will run out. There will be no money. The cupboard will be bare. And all told, nearly 700,000 jobs would be at risk over the next year. That's like the population of Tampa and St. Louis combined.
But not everyone is thrilled about the plans for the new Tappan Zee Bridge. Soon construction will begin on the shared use path, which extends directly from the residential neighborhood of South Nyack.
There's safety issues on the streets when you have cars parking and these little children running between them and cars actually driving up and down your streets looking for spots. It could create some health safety risks, and also the health risks from having the additional carbon monoxide and soot in the area could, if a child can create asthma. 2015 and 2016 are the two biggest years for the Tappan Zee project, where residents will start to see the most progress. The piers will begin to grow up out of the water, and the main towers will be erected. And all construction will be completed in just over 5 years, with the new New York Bridge opening to the public officially in July of 2018. In South Nyack, Carolyn Fortino, FiOS 1 News.
Now, a big unanswered question is, will it cost more to cross the new Tappan Zee Bridge? The current cash toll is $5 round trip. Drivers with Easy Pass pay $4.25, and commuters with a monthly Easy Pass plan pay just $3. But once the twin span replacement is open, will tolls increase to pay for the project? In 2012, an aide to Governor Cuomo suggested that it might ultimately rise to $14. The governor distanced himself from the idea, saying at the end of the day, we have to make tolls affordable. He also said that leaders would appoint a special panel to discuss Tappan Zee toll increases and other ways to pay for the nearly $4 billion project. Still ahead on building a bridge, the new Tappan Zee. Bringing in the big guns. We'll tell you about the monster crane that will be used to help construct the new bridge. Plus, we'll meet one of the workers who tells us why his job is all in the family. And then, from Tarrytown to South Nyack, the controversy surrounding a 3-mile-long road for bikers and walkers. Plus, we'll tell you all about the scenic viewing locations on the new bridge and outline the safety measures being put in place to deter jumpers and prevent suicides.